Hey you guys, I'm ready to teach you your math lesson for today. So first let's review triangles. Triangles can be classified by their sides and by their angles. So first of all, we can talk about their sides. So an equilateral triangle has all three side lengths the same. An isosceles triangle has two side lengths the same, and a scalene triangle has no side lengths the same. But then also, triangles can be classified by their angles. So if there is a right angle anywhere, so it normally has that square there and it's at a 90 degrees, then it is a right triangle. If it has 190 degree, then it has to be right. If it has an obtuse angle, which is more than 90, then it has to be an obtuse triangle. See how it does have two acute, but if it has that obtuse, then it's an obtuse angle. And then this one here is an acute triangle because all three are less than 90. So each triangle can be classified as one of these. So for example, like, let's turn this around. An equilateral triangle can also be classified as an acute triangle because it has less than 90. So then we can take it to here. And got some glares going on, but it's fine. We're dealing. So different triangles can have properties of each other. So whenever I say that, an obtuse triangle has angles that are, at that. So it could be an obtuse could be an isosceles because if these two sides were the same and there was an obtuse angle, then it could be one of those. Doesn't have to be because an obtuse angle could, and that could be way out there, doesn't have to be. Okay, just like a right triangle has to have that right angle, it could be isosceles because if I connected them and these two were the same, then it would have to be isosceles. But like I said before, this is a right angle, but if that one went way out, it doesn't have to be. I still see that right angle, but it's not isosceles. And then we're going with acute then. So according to the angles, if I have an acute triangle, all of those are less than 90, but, well, let's just say these two sides are the same. So it would be isosceles, but it doesn't have to be because those two sides don't have to be the same. But I see this equilateral triangle is here in the middle. Equilateral triangles are all acute. Equilateral have all the same side lengths. So that being said, all of them are acute. That's why it's in the middle there. And also, according to isosceles, like we've talked about before, an equilateral triangle has three sides the same. So if it has three, then it has two. So with that being said, an equilateral triangle is always an isosceles. And a right triangle can be an isosceles sometimes. And a right triangle then could never be obtuse because they're way over here. A right triangle has to have this right angle. No matter how long these sides are, it's got to have that right angle, and there's no way that there could be an obtuse angle with that right angle there. So now I want to talk about different shapes here just in general. So we know that quadrilaterals are shapes that have four sides and two sets of quadrilateral. Yes, two sides of parallel sides. Now a trapezoid has at least one pair. So if a trapezoid has at least one pair of parallel lines, then it definitely, yeah, okay. And a parallelogram goes underneath here, and the things about a parallelogram is that it has two pairs of parallels. Okay, that was my bad. My bad. A quadrilateral just have to have four sides. Now, trapezoid, okay, four sides. I'm with myself now. No big deal, guys. Trapezoid have one set of parallel. And then a parallelogram has two sets parallel. So if it has two sets, then it has to have one set, and these are all having four sides. And then two types of parallelograms then are the rectangle, and the rhombus. Okay, so a rectangle is a type of parallelogram, which is a type of, and the difference between a rectangle is that it has four right angles. And then a rhombus is a parallelogram, and it has four equal sides. And then if you basically combine the rectangle and the rhombus, you get a square, and that's the most specific you can get, because a square then does have four equal sides and four right angles, which has two sets of parallel, which has one set of parallel, which has four sides. Therefore, the square is the most specific, and the quadrilateral is the most general.